How are you? I hope you're doing fine, despite of the COVID-19 PKP thing that we're facing right now. And now our first lecture, online lecture. This is the extension to our previous lecture, that is recognizing argument. Topic for this lecture is disagreement, claim and reason. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to construct strong argument and in order to put forward any claim. Alright, so and then after that you will be able to test the strength of an argument to settle any dispute in reasoning, okay, in order to find solution to the disagreement. And this is the content or layout for this topic. Alright, I will start with introduction. Okay, why you need to know types of disagreement and what is reasoning and all, and then go to types of disagreement, and then to the reasoning, which you will know a bit about what is claim and what is reason, and then lastly to the conclusion. In critical thinking, the term argument does not mean quarrel between people. Okay, you argue in your thinking, you verbally argue between two people or between you and your friend. Instead, it is a structure of reasons given as proof of a claim. So you have your claim and you give your reason why you choose that option. Okay, this is actually what argument is. It's not quarrel. Okay, so you have to always know that when we maintain a position, we must provide justification for it. Of course, we have to understand why someone disagrees in order to defend our position, and for that we have to make sure that the conclusion is follow from the premise. That means you have your claim and your reason, and there is a coherent connection between these two item in your argument, right? So before we begin the process of arguing our claim, we have to determine what type of disagreement is involved. We have to know all the types of disagreement. And for this course, there are 4 types of disagreement that we will be discussing. The first one is factual, second is verbal, third is interpretive, and lastly, evaluative. Factual disagreement. From the name itself, you know it is factual based. Alright? This is the simplest form of disagreement and the easiest disagreement, the easiest issue to be solved. Okay? So it means that to prove our point, we must cite some conclusive evidence from authoritative source. Okay, you know that there are a lot of fake news, especially in this situation right now of a COVID-19 thing. There are a lot of fake news that has been occurred on the social media. So we have to know, in order to know whether this type of argument is easy to solve or fact-based argument or whatnot, we have to know that this argument need to have concrete facts. If there's no fact from authoritative source, it is considered as fake news, for example. And as you know, some factual disagreements are easier to be resolved than others. And those which are not so easily resolved are because solid arguments are difficult to obtain and experts disagree with each other. But still, at the end of it, when you have strong fact or conclusive fact from authoritative party, your argument is stronger than your opponent. And next, we move to verbal disagreement. Okay, it's verbal. It's verbal when you and your friend, for example, say something about certain issue. Okay, so this is kind of involving a difference of opinion over what a crucial word means. Okay, this also known as semantic disagreement. What is semantic disagreement? It's about different situation or this different the way we treat any disagreement depends on how we define all the keywords that are used. That means different people has different meaning of the words they are using. Okay, so to prove our point, we need to show how we define the keywords. Okay, to prove that our point is stronger than our opponent. Okay, so this type of verbal disagreement can be caused by several reasons. Okay, one is maybe the word that you use or your friend use may be vague or ambiguous. I think you still remember what vague is, what ambiguous is. And also different people has different meaning about the same word because they have been taught to use a word differently so that the intentional meaning is unusual. Okay, and non-native speakers, for example, may have a different extension for a word in their own language. Okay, and a particular word may have a private connotation for different people. Whatever the cause, the reason for disagreement is that different meanings are being assigned to the same term. So, actually, as long as you and your friend or you or your opponent can clearly define what you mean by certain words in your argument, this type of dispute can be resolved easily. Alright, and now we move on to interpretive disagreement. This type of disagreement are disputes about how events or actions should be construed because different people have different interpretation of something. So the view sort of decides or give the points of whether they want to, for example, go to the restaurant or not. Okay, and this type of disagreement is more difficult than in cases that involve factual or verbal disagreement. So when this type of disagreement, you face this type of disagreement, the way you wanna sort of solve the issue is whatever seems most plausible should be accepted as true. So it depends on, for example, you have four people, for example, and three out of one agree to go to restaurant A. one only agreed to go to restaurant B. So you take restaurant A. You take restaurant A. A is the restaurant you need to go because more people want to go there. So um, that kind of decision by going to restaurant A is the most plausible, and that should be accepted as true. For example, as you can see in the cartoon here, you see a father driving a car with her son, or with his son and his daughter. The daughter said, "Dad, don't honk at the poor kid. He's just trying to get his bike up onto the sidewalk." So the interpretation from the daughter is much more pity the boy and don't honk at the boy. And then the son said it's for his own safety, Betty. So the son view it as what father did is for the sake of that boy's safety. And if I say, and it worked, it made him move faster and he got out of my way just in time. So the father decided that the thing that he did by honking at the boy is the best thing to be done. So in this case, the son and the father wanna do the honking, and that's the best solution at that time in this type of disagreement.